G'day guys, welcome back to another episode of Flashlight Crazy. This one's exciting. We have here the comparison video between the Weltool W4 LED flashlight and the Weltool W4 Pro TAC LED flashlight. Let's check them out. All right, so accessories are going to be the exact same with these two lights. You're going to get a certificate of quality control pass certificate. You're going to get a Weltool W4 Pro and W4 Pro TAC user manual. You're going to get one spare O-ring each, and you're going to get a USB-C to USB-A charging cable. That is going to charge the USB-C port in these batteries, and these batteries are identical. They are rechargeable lithium-ion 5,000 milliamp 3.6 volt 21700s. All right, let's install the batteries. So I'll go the TAC first. Check that out. You've got two O-rings along the threads there at the bottom. Two O-rings as well. All right, so now I reached out to Danny Zhang, the owner of Weltool, prior to this video because I wanted to know what the differences are that I could mention, because when I picked these lights up, or when they were delivered, initially you can't see much of a difference, can you? And so I wanted to know how Weltool can justify the price difference, because the W4 Pro TAC is, I think, $715 from Light Shop, whereas the W4 is $455. So that's almost a $300 difference, and I just wanted to know basically where that $300 comes into it. Now, he did admit he could only tell me limited information because the W4 Pro TAC is actually going to be used in a European country's military forces. So he couldn't tell me which country, but because of the fact that this is going to be used in the military, he cannot tell me everything about it, basically. I don't know if it's just security issues or whatever, but he cannot tell me everything about it. What he did tell me is that the outside anodizing is very different, so it's a lot stronger. And he told me that in the phosphor, down in the light head to create that beam, there are different elements, some of which I think he said have diamond on them. So that is what helps the light and the technology come to life. So that's literally all he could tell me, all right? So now I'm just going to do a surface level review. I'm just going to call it as I see it. But let's see if we can find any differences. So in the beginning, if you do look down at the lenses, let's try and get a shot of both of them. I can't really see much of a difference at all. So I'm not expecting to see the differences in phosphor and the differences on what the phosphor burns and how it lights and all that sort of stuff. I'm not expecting to see that. But when I look down there, I don't see any of a difference. Now, the anodizing, though, I do feel a difference. The W4 Pro TAC definitely feels not only stronger, but it's less slippery and it feels tougher. It also feels heavier, but we'll check that. The W4 feels a bit smoother, but that's just the head. As soon as we get to the body, it feels identical. They both feel identical. They may not be, but they definitely feel identical. Now, in terms of height, I don't know if you can see that there, but the W4 Pro TAC is taller. See that? So the W4 Pro TAC is taller, but that is not, I don't think that has anything to do with the bodies. I think it might be the head size. Actually, no, it's the tail cap. Maybe it's the tail cap that's higher. Yeah, no, it's not the head, because the head is pretty level there. And then let's see the body, where the body ends. That's also level. So it is the area So it seems to be the area between the end of the body and the beginning of the tail cap. So I think the tail cap is actually a little bit longer. Yeah, in the W4 Pro TAC. But in terms of design and feel, I can definitely feel the difference between the anodization between the W4 Pro TAC and the W4. Now, I apologize in advance if I get the names wrong. If I keep calling the W4 the W4 Pro, it's not. This is a comparison between the W4 Pro TAC and the W4, not the W4 Pro, okay? If I do accidentally say W4 Pro for this, I'm sorry, but it's W4. That's it. Now, if we just look at the heads, identical. Apart from the word Pro, they are identical. Identical bezel, which is beautiful. It's such a nice bezel, this. It's got, looks so tactical, doesn't it? Amazing. Now, let's see the tail clickies. So, yep, very, very sensitive. And if you just notice there, I can cycle from high to low in the W4, whereas the TAC, it just comes on in high every time. Unless I do the old 1, 2, 3, 4, it's going to get to strobe, and then again, low. Off and on, strobe, off and on, low. And then off, leave it for a bit, back to high. So that's the new driver that's in the TAC versions of a lot of Weltools. I think it's in the, what do we got? It's in the T19, in the T2 TAC, in the W3 Pro TAC, and in this one as well. Now, if we just hit up some measurements, so the W4 Pro TAC comes in at 19.5 centimeters from end of bezel to end of tail clicky, whereas the W4 from end of bezel to end of tail clicky is 19 centimeters. So half a centimeter difference, but the face of the W4 Pro TAC is 60.4 millimeters. And the face of the W4 is 60.57 millimeters. So I'd probably say they're identical. I probably just didn't get that exactly right. The body of the TAC is 26.98 millimeters. Body of the W4 is 26.86 millimeters. Width of the tail cap on the TAC is 31.71 millimeters. And on the W4, it is 31.81 millimeters. Now let's see if these are too heavy for my scales. I know they definitely will be with the batteries in, but if I take the batteries out and try and weigh it even without the tail cap, let's see. No, so even the body without the tail cap and without the battery is over 300 grams. However, Weltool does state that the W4 Pro TAC without the battery, it comes in at 336 grams, give or take a couple of grams. So with the battery, I'm probably going to estimate it's honestly about 400 grams. Now let's try a bit of a heat test on both of them. So I'll just move that over there. So we're going to start with the TAC, and I'll get this on high, which is just the only output unless you obviously do the hidden mode. So that's on high. Let's get some heat happening, and I'll do it on the neck here. All right, so after a minute and a half, we got 31 degrees Celsius. I mean, that's not, the neck is slightly warm, but that's nothing. And that's to be expected with a head this size as well. Now let's try the W4. That's on high, is it? Yep, okay, so let's go. All right, minute and a half later, we are 29.6 degrees Celsius. So not much difference in heat, and you know these things aren't going to heat up that much. They're just built to last in terms of their output, so that's fine. All right, so let's do a bit of a beam shot on the wall there. Now, I'm not seeing too much of a difference just yet. I can assure you there's a difference in the night shots outside, but let me just see. Yeah, that's low. Okay, so on high, not too much of a difference to the naked eye. I am looking at them through the camera, not directly on the wall. It's just simply too bright. But in terms of specs, so the W4 Pro TAC on my left has a high output of 568 lumens, which is this. that has a candela rating of 2,882,000. It will reach 3,712 yards and will last you an hour and 15 minutes. Now, the W4 in high mode is going to give you 560 lumens, so 8 lumens less. That is going to give you a candela rating of 1,782,000, and that's going to reach 2.6 kilometers. So I actually reckon the W4Pro TAC is going to go over 3 kilometers. And now let's just have a look at them on low. 1, 2, 3, 4, strobe, low. So on low, they also look very, very similar as well. Look at that bouncing off the table. God, it's just amazing technology. It looks a little bit cleaner in the W4 than the TAC. But if I move them over here, actually, no, they look pretty similar. They do look pretty similar over here. I think it was bouncing off, bouncing off the metal there. So turn it off. Let's get to high again. So look, there is so much more intensity coming out of the TAC than the W4. But look, let's wait no further. Let's go outside and see what they do, because that is where we're going to see the difference in performance. And then we'll come back for some prices and everything. See you in a sec. All right, we've got the W4 on the right and the W4Pro TAC on the left. So I'm seeing a larger hotspot in the TAC, much more clarity in the TAC as well, like much more clarity. That is that's astronomical, that difference. TAC up the tree, Pro up the tree. The TAC is extremely large, clear, the color's better. I'm still seeing what I want to see with the 4, but the hotspot is tiny, whereas the TAC's hotspot is larger, which is, I don't understand how Weltool have done that, because the TAC has more candela. So it should be a tighter hotspot, but it's not. Wow, that's very interesting. That's a great comparison though. TAC on the left, W4 on the right. Awesome. Get a good look, people. TAC on the left, 4 on the right. Check out the tree trunk with the TAC. And now the tree trunk with the 4. Tree trunk with the TAC. Tree trunk with the 4. All right. See ya. All right. So, as I said, there is a difference in performance when you look at them at nighttime. The TAC is surprisingly having a larger hotspot, even with more candela. So the technology in that is definitely more advanced than the W4. However, they're both going to be useful if you are someone who wants that very tight, long, thin beam that just bloody doesn't stop. I reckon you've got about almost a kilometer more in distance with the TAC than in the 4. As I said before, the differences as well is in the phosphor and whatever is helping that burn to make that light. So laser excited phosphor. And as Danny told me, you know, you've got bits of diamond in there. He couldn't tell me what else is in there. But just the fact that the W4Pro TAC is going to be used in a military organization in a country in Europe must say a lot about this light. So it does feel stronger. It's not that the W4 feels weak, but I can definitely feel the difference in anodization. And if you even take a close look, you can see that the W4 here does look a bit smooth, whereas or kind of almost shiny, whereas the TAC it's more matty kind of thing. So whatever they've done different, I don't know. Danny couldn't tell me. He told me everything he could without spilling the beans on it all. But look, is it worth the extra $300? So yeah, the TAC, W4 Pro TAC from Light Shop is $715. The W4 from Light Shop is $455. So you got to ask yourself, you know, if you're looking for a long distance LEP light, mate, you're gonna probably want to be damn sure that you need the TAC to be spending that extra $300, of course. That being said, you know, bragging rights, I mean, who wants to spend $700 over bragging rights? Not me. But if you did want a light for bragging rights in terms of an LEP light for bragging rights, you're not going to beat the W4 Pro TAC. In my opinion, it's incredible, well made, just a beautiful, beautiful light. But look, that's the best comparison I can do between these two lights. They are both amazing. They're both Weltool, so you're getting quality. But look, the TAC is it's a very, very impressive light. I love the TAC versions of all Weltool's lights. So check them out. I'm going to link both these lights directly in the description below. So have a look, check them out, and I'll put discount codes as well. You'll be able to get 10% off both these lights if you wish. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, stay cool and stay safe. See ya.